Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I've been making videos about love and using GodQuestions.org because my channel is about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. So, no use talking about love beyond the sea if I can't occasionally talk very seriously about what love is. Please subscribe here. I married my wife about 8 years ago and on Christian Filipino website. So I need to constantly learn about this idea of love, and it's a lifelong, marriage-long commitment of learning and doing it. So from GodQuestions.org, how do I know that I am in love? Now this is going to start out talking about a Christian perspective, but when it gets to talking about 1 Corinthians 13, those aspects of love are going to be needed for any relationship, any marriage to succeed. So starting here, love is a very powerful emotion. By the way, please leave comments. I always forget that. Love is a very powerful emotion. It motivates much of our lives. We make many important decisions based on this emotion and even get married because we feel we are in love. This may be the reason about half of all marriages end in divorce. They stop. They break up. The Bible teaches us that true love is not an emotion that can come and go, not true love, but a decision. I say this a lot on Love Beyond the Sea, so I agree with this 100%. It's a decision. We are not just to love those who love us, in fact, but we should even love those who hate us. The same way that Christ loves the unlovable, and a reference there is for Luke 6:35. The Bible says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight itself in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres or endures. That comes from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. It can be very easy to fall in love with someone, but there are some questions to ask before deciding if what we are feeling is true love. First, is this person a Christian? Meaning, has he given his life to Christ? Is he or she trusting Christ alone for salvation? Also, if you are considering giving your heart and emotions to one person, you should ask yourself if you're willing to put that person above all people and to put your relationship second only to God. The Bible tells us that when two people get married, they become one flesh. Genesis 2:24, Matthew 19:5. Wrapping it up here from GodQuestions.org, another thing to consider is whether or not the loved one is a good candidate for being a mate. Has he or she already put God first and foremost in his or her life? Is he or she able to give his or her time and energy to building the relationship into a marriage that will last a lifetime? There is no measuring stick to determine when we are truly in love with someone, but it is important to discern whether we are following our emotions or following God's will for our lives. True love, that's a decision, not just an emotion. True biblical love is loving someone all the time, not just when you feel in love. That's the end of the article from GodQuestions.org. Let me know what you think about that. My interjections here, I have talked at length about how love is what you commit to doing to your wife in my 1,400 plus videos. And this article from GodQuestions.org certainly is in line with my thoughts. You commit yourself to loving all the time, not just when things are going the way you would like them to go. In a marriage, you just never know what's going to happen. Just like with parenting, you never know what circumstance you might have to all of a sudden be dealing with, maybe for the rest of your life. But because love perseveres, as it pointed out in 1 Corinthians 13, you're in it for the long haul. So you need to know you're in it for the long haul. You need to be able to communicate that to the other person, that you're in it for the duration. There's going to be umpteen occasions you and your mate will struggle, might not even like each other, might have wondered if you made a mistake. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, because once you're married, you're married. That's your situation. You got to work your way out of it. Sometimes, often, you need advice. It's great to get advice. I try to talk about the things you face when you're married to a woman from the Philippines here on Love Beyond the Sea. So this Song of Solomon that I did a video on recently, it's a why is there a book in the Bible devoted to romantic love? Well, it's because in that book, that talks about some ups and downs that they go through, and that's just part and parcel of married life. So there are some things to think about before you say you're in love. You should not go by how you feel, because those feelings can change, often quickly, with words or actions or misunderstandings. So once you're married, you should be 100% committed to the good of the other, be unselfish, forgive, be patient, because short of that, I don't think you're going to stay in that marriage. Marriage is not for the weak-minded. It is for the unselfish, those that are truly in love and know what they're getting into. With the abundance of self-love info on the internet, which I hate, whomever swallows that is getting farther away from being a desirable marriage partner. You are going to need to more or less forget about yourself to a high degree and focus on others. That's actually a great thing to do. The Bible even says somewhere in Philippians 2 to esteem others better than yourselves. That's part of the humility that is necessary to be a good lover. When you decide you're in love, what often happens is your needs are met because you first invested your life and your efforts in your mate. Also, of course, just don't marry a narcissist. Marry a giver, if you can, a generous person, a contented person with few hang-ups. We all have some hang-ups. Marriage is for life, and the hard work comes after you are married. So enjoy that honeymoon. The potential for hurt is great if one does not know what love is or what being in love is. Be prepared and start learning about the type of love you will need if you get married, like I did to my Love Beyond the Sea.